Now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce your host for podcast 34, Jordan Hargrove. What's up, everybody? We're going to have to, we just moved the set just a little bit. We're going to be talking a little bit more about podcast 34. But some Thursdays, we will be in this, area. And then, some other day, we will be in this area. We got the punching bag, and then we got the bag above. I'm just gonna go ahead and kind of tilt the camera. We're still trying to get used to the camera angles and everything. But anyways, we got Khabib says he is going to sit out on fighting for a whole year. And Dana White's reaction to that was, he can't wait that long. Okay, let's go ahead and get this out of here. Dana White's reaction was that Khabib Nurmagomedov couldn't wait that long to fight it, especially with him being champion. So lately news, like today, he would fight Tony Ferguson for a lot less. Because he don't need money. Next topic is going to be Conor McGregor says he would like to fight Donald Cerrone, Anderson Silva, and the Khabib Nurmagomedov for the rematch. Conor McGregor versus Donald Cerrone. I think that'll be a great fight. Donald Cerrone, he said that he would knock Conor McGregor out in the second round by head kick. That's possible, but if you're slacking on Conor, Donald Cerrone, he's a late starter. It takes a little bit while for him to warm up and get the groove in and start beating the shit out of people. And so that's why he said second round. But Conor McGregor's one of them first round people. You can't be slacking on Conor McGregor in the first round. So if Donald Cerrone slacks on Conor McGregor's gonna really knock him around, and he possibly could win that. But like Donald Cerrone said, he's going to give the people what they want, and he is going to stand and bang with Conor McGregor for the whole entire 3 rounds. It'll probably be for the 155 interim title, I'm thinking, or the title shot if Khabib does like he says and sits out for a whole year. But yeah, I have my money on Conor McGregor for that fight. Conor McGregor versus Anderson Silva. Conor tweeted that he wanted to do that match. So then Dana White responds at the post-fight press conference at UFC 234. He says he does not like this idea for fight. And then Conor versus Khabib Nurmagomedov 2. Conor McGregor's known, man, for losing to someone and coming right back and teaching them a lesson and knocking their brains out. You can take that by Conor McGregor versus Nate Diaz 1, where he got choked out on the ground, and then Conor McGregor versus Nate Diaz 2. And it's a possibility that we'll see Conor McGregor do that again. But it's also a possibility that we'll just see another mauling by Khabib Nurmagomedov to Conor like the first time. And then we'll have UFC Fight Night on Sunday, February 17th at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And I'll pause this video in just a little bit, go out into the house, get my predictions, and I'll come out here and say my predictions. And then I'll come back next Thursday and tell y'all how many I got correct. For the UFC 234, I had 2 wrong out of the whole entire list, so that was very good. And then we have, for YUSF, we have Tyler Applewhite. This is regarding Tyler Applewhite, Anthony Golden Boy Chavez, David Hargrove, and Aiden Young. These are all 4 very good competitors. in YUSF. Very hard competitors. I've faced Aiden Young. I faced off with David Hargrove. I've had 2 matches with Anthony Chavez, which I won by forfeit because he didn't show up. Then Tyler Applewhite, he's never had a fight in YUSF. So, possible matchups for the next YUSF coming up in a couple of weekends from now. We would possibly be seeing Tyler Applewhite versus Anthony Golden Boy Chavez. David Big Daddy Hargrove versus Anthony Golden Boy Chavez. Aiden, it's your boy Young, or Aiden, I think it's the Destroyer Young. Versus Tyler Applewhite. The Aiden Young versus Tyler Applewhite, I think that would be a very well matched up match. Aiden Young is a striker, pretty well on striking, and he's pretty well on grappling because of his size. He is a very big, large man, and he can use that to his advantage in this fight, especially possibly moving down to featherweight to face off with Tyler for the championship #1 spot and a championship title spot. But that could be very well matched up. Tyler Applewhite's more of a boxer, so he'll try to keep it on the standing up, but then we'll see that wrestling come in where Aiden just goes straight for a takedown and looks for a submission. Then we have David Hargrove versus Anthony Chavez. I think I'd like to see them two in a boxing match, not an MMA match. I don't think we would see a MMA match here for a while. We'll probably just see boxing matches for a little while. And then we have Tyler Applewhite versus Anthony Chavez. I think that would be a very well boxing match. Again, Tyler Applewhite, he's a striker. Anthony Chavez, he's a boxer. So I think them two going up would be a very well matchup. I don't think we'll see any of these being in MMA except Aiden versus Tyler. And if that happens, we could possibly see Tyler Applewhite being at a disadvantage because of the wrestling with Aiden. Then our next topic is nobody can take jokes no more. I mean, I said a joke in a classroom a couple days ago, and I got 2 lunch detentions from it. It was a very funny joke. Everybody was laughing. Except administrators. But I mean, jokes have gotten people have gotten sensitive, and you can't tell jokes no more for some reason. It's always getting somebody offensive. Our next topic is going to be weed being legal. I think it should be legal. It's always been legal, you know. Every once in a while you'll get drug bust, and that will deal with weed. But like, no matter what, they're still going to go out and buy weed and bring it home and just smoke it, and you'll never find it. But if it's legal, you'll know everybody's doing it, and they'll just be smoking. It's better for the economy and everything else. Also, with the opioid addiction, especially around here in this Kentucky area, I mean, it'd be very well thought. Then bullying. Honestly, again, people have become more sensitive over the past couple of years, and bullying is just another thing that some people just can't handle. Again, it goes back to jokes and people not being able to handle jokes and stuff. But sometimes I think bullying is actually very well for people. I think if you hear something bad about you or something and you're able to laugh at it and stuff like that, I think that's very well. But if you're getting bullied, I mean, take it as a motivation. Oh, you won't ever be a professional golfer. You won't ever be a football player. But use that as motivation and go ahead and push forward. That's what I've always taken it as. I've never been bullied, but I talk about it as motivation because they're just too bad of losers that they can't handle it. But I've been bullied, but I use it as motivation and to keep on pushing. Our next one is school shootings. School shootings have been very fucking bad lately. Today is Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. But a year ago to this day, we had the Valentine's shooting massacre, I guess you could call it. That dealt with Nicholas Cruz, I'm pretty sure. Nicholas Cruz at the Florida high school shot up, and so yeah, we would like to have a moment of silence for all the people that we lost that day. And then you can find me on Instagram at little LIL _ JER _ 34 on Instagram. And we did a Q&A on there yesterday, and we had many people come in and ask some questions. But I did not get to write it down today. We only got one written down from last night at 12 o'clock. And yeah, we ain't get none written down today. But the question was, why do you fight? I think fighters have multiple reasons why they fight. For me, it's always been in my family. Fighting's always been in my family. I started off with WWE, and then it got boring. They did a bunch of shit, and I didn't really like it anymore. And then I moved on to Taekwondo, Jiu-Jitsu, kickboxing, Muay Thai, wrestling, MMA, boxing. Moved on to real fighting sports, and I've really gathered intel, and I know this business, ups and downs. I know it. I know I like the business aspect of it, and then I also like the fighting aspect of it. That's why I do both of them, and it doesn't bother me at all getting punished or anything. It's just I like it. It's also a release. It's discipline. It's got a bunch of things mixed into it for me. But yeah, that's kind of why I fight. Now we're gonna go ahead and do my UFC Fight Night Sunday, February 17th on ESPN at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That's UFC Fight Night Sunday, February 17th at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time. You can check that out on ESPN. Now I'm going to run back inside in the back locker room area, and I'm going to get our my predictions. Alright, so yeah, in UFC 234, last Saturday, we had some bad decisions in the matches. So yeah, we have a big issue with judges. This is UFC. Alright, so here we go. UFC on ESPN 1, and again I'll read the date, time off for you one more time. UFC Fight Night Sunday, February 17th at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time. It's when these matches are going on this weekend, so go ahead and set them DVRs. That's old school right there. Anyway, the early prelims, I have Alex Zandria winning that very first match Renan, I have winning Jessica. And then moving on to the prelims, we have Scott, Indri, Manny, Aljamain. And that is who I think is going to win the early prelims and the prelims. And then moving on to the main card, I have Miles, Vincent, Kayron, Courtney, and James. And then for the main event, Cain Velasquez versus, I can't remember that one dude's name, but I got Cain Velasquez winning in that match. So good luck to Cain and all them fighters on there. Last time on UFC 234, I got Jonathan Wright, and I got Jalen Wright, and I got Lando Wright, which was in the early prelims. Lando got moved up to the co-main event. The main event got canceled against Kevin Gastelum versus Robert Whitaker for the championship because of Robert Whitaker's hernia situation. And then Israel Adesanya versus Anderson Silva moved up to the main event. So yeah, and then but I got Lando correct. I got Cain correct. Rolavina, I'm pretty sure Rolavina had a Rolavina had a terrible judging decision on his fight. Then Austin Arnett lost, so I got that one wrong as well. Honestly, I don't think that was a bad decision. It could have gone to a draw, though. And then Devontae, I had him winning. I got that correct. Jim, I got that correct. Montana by submission. Good job by armbar. I got that correct. Ricky, I got that correct. Israel Adesanya, and I got that correct. And again, that old main event that got canceled, Kevin Gastelum versus Robert Whitaker got canceled, so I couldn't do my prediction on them. But I had Kevin Gastelum winning, and that's probably what will happen when they go in for their rematch for that match. But anyways, guys, that's all I got to talk about, really. Hopefully, everybody's having a better day today. And yeah. Thank you.